Hi, I'm Amy Wan. Welcome to Security Token Insight, brought to you by the Security Token Academy. The security token industry is gaining momentum and will provide a key foundation for the evolving financial internet. The Security Token Academy provides insights about this new era for security token enthusiasts, investors, and issuers. Coming up on today's episode of Security Token Insight, we've got a look at the latest security token investing news. Plus, we sit down with CEO of Finova Financial, Gregory Keough, for this week's expert interview, and learn more about the events taking place during Security Token Industry Launch Week set for this October. Now it's time for your security token investing news. Crowdfunding giant Indiegogo is getting into the security token industry thanks to the St. Regis Aspen Resorts token sale. We first told you about the resort's security token sale on our last show. Since then, we've learned Indiegogo will present its 10 million members with the opportunity to own a tokenized share of common stock in the St. Regis Aspen Resort through the Aspen Digital Token Asset offering. The offering will be available directly through Templum Markets and is open to accredited investors in the US and overseas. And in other news, the blockchain for private equity platform Swarm Fund has entered into an agreement to list security tokens on Open Finance Network. Swarm was launched in January 2018 and is described as a fully decentralized capital market platform that democratizes investing by using the power of blockchain to open up alternative investment classes to small investors through asset-backed funds using crypto. The Security Token Academy has spoken to countless industry leaders, CEOs, and attorneys about the growing security token industry. This week's expert interview, Security Token Academy's Adam Chapnick sits down with Gregory Keough, CEO of Finova Financial and founder and chairman of the Institute for Blockchain Innovation. Find out why he believes security tokens will be a $1 trillion industry in this week's expert interview.
So if in your view, just from where you sit, how is this whole security token industry different from the ICO industry, if there is such a thing?
Yes, I think going back to the ICO, right? So if you look and say, like, well, why was the ICO so popular? You know, and so looking at, and this is how kind of we got into the security token space, obviously, was one, I think it unlocked like an inherent investor demand and interest that nobody had kind of tapped into. And I think people were quite surprised by it. And even venture capitalists, I think, were quite surprised at it.
For sure.
And so, but if you look at it first, it was kind of the total decentralization of ideas, either really good or some really, really bad. The second is you had a frictionless transaction, so very quickly you could invest globally in cryptocurrency to get involved in the project. And third, and perhaps most importantly, there was liquidity, right? Mm-hmm. So if you look at kind of what I think investors look for, startup investors, for example, they like that process, but generally it takes many, many years. And I think if you look even at the VC industry, the average IPO has went from about 4 years, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, now it's almost 10.
Or never.
Yeah, or never. Never to get liquid.
Right.
And so for the first time you saw this kind of unleashing of kind of raw capitalism and new technology and this new thing called an ICO, and it just kind of took off. And no matter what everybody tells us, like, it took most people by surprise,
yes,
right? Most more traditional folks. And so one thing, so I thought that was great. You know, I'm a technology guy. I love, finance and innovation. I love like decentralization and democratization of things, right? I think that's great. The one thing I didn't really like at all, though, coming from, Finova, regulated company, the JV I ran was highly regulated globally, was like, I was very concerned that a lot of these things actually were securities, right? And so obviously anything that's a security has very strict regulation. And now kind of fast forward to today, and I remember at the time when I suggested, like, hey, I think maybe a lot of the stuff is kind of securities that probably should follow some pathways that are SEC compliant. I actually got a lot of hate mail on that idea saying, no, that's a horrible idea. But if you fast forward today, now we've seen you don't hear those voices too much anymore. No. And so, but I do think that's a good thing, because what you're seeing is kind of the maturation of the industry into what I think is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry that is going to fundamentally change Wall Street, capital raising, and many other things.
Yeah, well, we agree, obviously, here at the Security Token Academy. So, okay, now that's the ICO versus the STO. Just for people watching, what's your take on how is the security token industry different from, let's say, the cryptocurrency sort of craze?
Yeah, so I think there's components and there is overlap.
Sure. Right.
With that said, I think that you're getting it's kind of interesting to tell you the truth because you have people who are traditional investors who've heard the cryptocurrency stuff and they kind of are fascinated and interested, but a lot of them are not quite so sure.
Yeah.
And then they've heard the ICO and they know that one they probably can't touch because it's not regulated. And if you have a fiduciary responsibility for something, you couldn't touch it. And so I think they've heard about the security token and they're like, hey, that's a good sweet spot. With that said, I think a lot of folks have a hard time getting their arms around, because it's so new, and that's the exciting thing about it. Which projects are better? There's a lot of learning curves still coming up. I do think it's interesting. You're starting to see Goldman Sachs get involved, and a lot of these other big players get involved, and you're seeing money managers saying an allocation should be towards kind of crypto blockchain type products, right?
Yes.
So that's a major event, I think.
It is huge evolution.
Yeah. So I think that's a trend that we're having been involved in the very early days of the internet, had a technology company that we built up and we sold off, but it's very reminiscent of that, except I think the impact is going to be greater.
Interesting. Okay. So what do you see as the specific benefit of the security token? What does that make better?
So I think a couple things. So if you look at the initial reason why there was the Delaware Blockchain Initiative, so the Dole.
Will you say a little bit about that for those who aren't following that?
Yeah. So one of the big to me, the glue that holds the security token industry together is the Delaware Blockchain Initiative. So as you probably know, about 78% of publicly traded companies come from Delaware. Most startups are based in Delaware, VC-backed startups, et cetera. Right. So, and it's got good corporate governance and good business courts, et cetera. So it's a very kind of stable place. Yes. So they came across with the Delaware Blockchain Initiative, and basically what it said is you could tokenize your equity stack and move it onto the blockchain. And the reason they did that was because the share tracking process was not that great, and there's even a case with Dole where I think they said they were doing an issuance of some sort, and I think they said they had 20 million shares, but it turned out they really had 34 million shares outstanding. Ooh. And it wasn't due to them trying to, it was just bad administrative work, right? So you can see a very clear example of how, if in that instance, had that all been on the blockchain, it would have been very transparent. Yes. And immediately transferable and everything else. So they embraced that. That then allows you to build on top of that, I think, secure, using the SEC current regulations, products that can be blockchain-based, tokenized, but then eventually traded. And I think that's kind of the glue that holds a lot of this stuff together.
Yeah. When did that opinion come out?
So it was under discussion for a long time, and I think it was. Correct me. I'm not sure of my dates exactly.
I won't hold
it was last year,
understand.
kind of first or second quarter last year. I believe it was actually formally approved.
Yeah, relatively new.
So it's relatively new.
People are kind of grappling with it.
Correct.
But I agree, it's a big deal. So there are a lot of blockchains that provide a foundation for our industry, let's say. Do you have any feelings about how the different blockchains compare, which ones will be more relevant? Do you know, or do you plugged into that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're so early on, and I always go back, and maybe a bad idea, I don't know, but I'm an old man. So I go back to kind of the early days of the internet and kind of learnings there. And if you look at, you'll remember Netscape, totally revolutionary.
Yeah.
Totally changed everything. Browser-based way to look at the internet. You look at Napster.
Yep.
But they're not here anymore, right? So a lot of times these things, there's the person who breaks the ice, but then there's a second wave that comes and actually makes it the big company. To me, it's not clear what that is still.
Right.
So I'm not sure which ones are breaking ice, and I'm not sure which ones are the big ones. I do think that it is interesting to note all the things being built on Ethereum, et cetera, and obviously the security tokens is a big part of that.
Yeah.
But I think there's different applications. I don't think we need a million, though, protocols.
Do you think, you mentioned Ethereum, do you think smart contracts are the sort of, maybe that's a little bit of light in the darkness, that is the functionality that will be in the future?
So I think if you look at smart contracts specifically as a security industry, it gives you a lot of benefits, right? So you could say, hey, I'm tokenizing my equity. The equity can be traded, but then in the smart contract, there could be kickers with exactly how you get your dividends. You could pay your dividends much quicker.
All kinds of things,
Exactly. So for example, just a very traditional stock market, if you have monthly dividends, you get an appreciation of 3% off the stock price. But you can pay daily dividends under smart contracts, right? So there's all these very unique things you can do, which also are very transparent, which is a good thing, which I think are huge net advantages to both companies that embrace them as well as investors that are interested in it.
Yeah.
So
you have some experience in international dealings and finance and stuff, which have all kinds of complications and headaches I can imagine. Obviously, I haven't done it, but I could just from watching it gives me a headache to watch. Do you have a sense of any of the foreign jurisdictions that are probably going to be into security tokens more than others, or the first ones, or
So I think
the best ones?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's lots of very interesting things going on, and there's also lots of interesting approaches. I do think that the United States is one of the largest capital markets in the world. I do think a lot of people look at the United States and the SEC to what they're doing, and if you look at like just the Jobs Act, that's been replicated in about 21 countries.
Oh, interesting.
It does provide a framework that also can be used in accordance with blockchain and et cetera, which I think is interesting. So yeah, I think that there's different variants to it. And I think we're going to have some that are just like totally, not free for all, but like very, very laissez-faire, I guess.
Yes.
And but I do think once you get to real scale, you're going to have regulation. As I say, everything at scale has regulation. There's pretty much no business I can think of that has real scale that doesn't have some level of regulation.
Right, for sure. Okay, so what about the time period? Looking into your crystal ball, the Keough ball, do you see, are we 18 months away? Are we a year, 5 years away from the security token industry sort of becoming major, sort of taking over? What do you think?
We have the full interview with Gregory Keough on our website. Be sure to click on the Interviews tab. And for more information on Finova Financial, visit finovafinancial.com. Now, this past June, the Security Token Academy hosted the first ever Security Token Summit in New York City. The groundbreaking sold-out conference was the first one of its kind to focus on the emergence of security token trading organizations. The best and the brightest spoke at our summit, and we captured it all on video. There were keynote addresses from David Weald, former vice chairman of NASDAQ, and Bruce Fenton, CEO of Chainstone Labs, plus panel discussions, interviews, and much more. You can get an inside view to what the top experts had to say about the future of the security token industry and where security token exchanges and trading platforms are going this year and beyond. You can purchase all of the videos from the event for just $99, and as a bonus, you will also receive a free one-year membership to the Security Token Academy. We want to let you know that our next event is the Security Token launch in New York City, set for October 4th and 5th. Come together with security token leaders, experts, and enthusiasts to celebrate the opening bell of the security token industry. Our event will feature industry experts, including ERC20 creator Fabian Vogelsteller and David Weald, former vice chairman of NASDAQ. Highlights include a cruise on the Hudson River on the Spirit of New York yacht during our special networking event to be held on Thursday, October 4th. On Friday, October 5th, you'll hear from leaders in the security token industry during our conference at the Conrad, New York City, as we dive into the core foundations of the security token industry. Tickets are on sale right now. Just visit our website and click on the events page to learn more about October's security token industry launch event. We hope to see you there. All right, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and Medium. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page so you don't miss out on any of our videos and expert interviews. I'm Amy Wan. For everyone here at the Security Token Academy, thanks for watching.